day, right? It's crazy. It's your boy Chris Jack, Canvas Nomad here, back with another one. And I don't know, I was just riding the train earlier. I just got off the train. And there's this girl that comes and she will sell candy and stuff like that to anybody on the train. So I started thinking, all right, I've been noticing them a lot more lately. I've been thinking to myself, well, clearly this is probably due to the influx of people that came across the border, right? And Trump's been sending a lot of people home and this, that, and the third. But I thought it was interesting that when you look at these narratives on the news, most of the people that's been deported are from Latin America. Now my question to you is, why is that? And the only reason why I asked that question is because back then when you were looking at who was coming across the border through Mexico, it wasn't just people from Latin America, it was people from Europe, it was people from Asia, it was people from Africa. Everybody is coming across. Not to mention, we share a border with Canada that's longer than the border of Mexico. And there's no wall, there's no nothing like that there. Given, one could argue there's more mountains and stuff there, so it'll probably be harder. Maybe that's true. The Rocky Mountains is on that side, but that's only half of like the whole border. So I'm thinking to myself, what is the agenda? What is the reason that we're only targeting a certain demographic of people, putting them on the news, talking about, well, we deported them, when there was a plethora of people that came through, not just from that area of the world. So like, I don't know. I just look at people just trying to do better for themselves. I personally have been to El Salvador. Yes, you go to Soyapenga. I'm not gonna lie to you, everything they say on the news, you will find there. Everywhere else, it's really like, maybe not everywhere else, because everywhere got its dangers. But because even Mercales, no. There's a couple places that I wouldn't recommend you go. However, for the most part, the people there, nice, sweet, kind, giving. I met a family there. I'll never forget them, because for what they did for me, and they set this whole like, desire to journey on a tirade. Like, they are the reason, I can honestly say single-handedly, is the reason why I like really just want to get on the plane and stay abroad. Like, what you're seeing on the news, I'm not gonna sit there and lie and act like it doesn't exist. But that's like saying, oh my God, there's a bunch of people coming over from America, they're all Bloods and Crips. That's clearly not a lie. That's clearly a lie. You know what I mean? That's clearly a lie. It's just not the truth. We have to stop believing in these narratives that's on the news. Seriously. Because the news, at the end of the day, its job is to sell fear. That's the news's job. It's supposed to sell fear. It's supposed to create fear. You can watch an hour segment on the news. 55 of those minutes, outside of commercials, will be, oh, this person got shot, this building fell down, this building blew up, this car turned over. And in the last 5 minutes, what do you get? Oh, by the way, a teacher is getting person of the month because they climbed a tree and saved a cat. Like, it's built to sell fear. That is its whole premise. You understand what I mean? So don't take these articles, these news, especially if they're the credible source. Ask the one question: who's profiting from this news segment? Who's profiting? Who is profiting? You know what I mean? And a lot of people look to this guy in office like he's a savior. Now, I'll be honest with you, I am not on either side, so I'm not going to say he's the devil either. People are bugging like that. I don't know why they think this guy's is compared to Hitler. I don't get it. It boggles my mind how he's compared to Hitler. But is he also Superman? You're also bugging. He's not. He's human just like everybody else. He may be touching your pressure points better because he's in entertainment and he understands how to sell information. He knows how clickbait works. He understands shock attention, shock value. He knows what to do to press people's emotions. That's why he's being compared to Hitler, because they hate him so much that they're comparing him with a person that killed 6 million people. And then if you really wanted to hate on him bad, you had Stalin, who was alive during that time, and you had Mao, who was alive during that time, who probably killed, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 times as many people as Hitler, but I digress. I digress on that. All I'm saying is, these news sources, you gotta understand that they have a plan or a business model that they follow. And they're not gonna veer off from that. They are the paparazzi for industries, for companies, for, they are the paparazzi for, your Googles, your this, that, and third, but also for events. They're the paparazzi. And just like TMZ, they are going to shape a narrative that creates something in their interests. And the reason why you can know I am not a sponsor, but I just think it's a really good platform, you have Ground News. Ground News, you can see all the articles on the left, you can see all the articles on the right. What's interesting is if you compare the amount of people that talk on the right compared to the people that talk on the left is like 10 to 1. That's one. Then there are very few news sources that keep it neutral. Why is that? Because everybody has a perspective on how they report the news. I'm not going to use the word agenda, because as soon as I say the word agenda, you get turned off. They have a perspective on how they want to report the news because of whatever systems they believe, or furthermore, who's ever paying them. Again, who profits from this event, this article, this news? When you ask that question, things become a lot clearer. Who profits? Because that's how the money works. We're in a capitalistic society. Why wouldn't every aspect of this society be capitalistic? Think about it. Why would only business be capitalistic? No, every aspect of it. Jails are capitalistic. You need a 70% occupancy to stay afloat. If you have less than a 70% occupancy, which works just like apartment buildings, then you lose funding, you lose all of these things, and then you will be in risk of your jail closing down. So what do? You have to get a way to fill up the jail cells. What's the best way? Influence. How do you do that? Music, television, movies, shit like that. So, and if you think that they can own a prison and can't create a movie or promote an artist, or at least help them get spins on the radio. Anyway, I digress. It's your boy Chris Jack. Yeah, I know, 2 times in one day. Get used to this. I'm back. And if you made it this far in the video, you my friend. I certainly appreciate it. Peace.